and welcome to episode 75 of the Fallout feed. Big show. Anniversary, 75th. Gosh, can't believe we're this deep into the episodes already, guys. My mic's cutting a little bit there. Get that crackle out. Sorry. Okay. So tonight on the Fallout feed, hi, I am Andrew. A little bit of planning change in our scheduling. We have been doing the roundtable last week. We kicked that off, and we were going to continue on and get to the quests tonight. But a couple of our hosts had some stuff pop up. So we decided to hold off on getting into the quest until we've got more of the core host back on the show. But we have luckily received a bunch of great play-along feedback from all of our play-along participants. And speaking of play-along, guys, we've got two of them on the show with us tonight. We've got Lee. Hello, Lee. Greetings, Lee. Awesome for you to be here tonight. And also Michelle again. Hello, Michelle.
Hi. How are you?
Very well. Thanks for joining us all the way from Canada.
Canada.
Still
next.
Canada. I wanted to ask you this, Michelle. How different are French Canada and English speaking Canada? Are they very well integrated cultural wise, or are they sort of two different cultures?
Oh, I'd say two completely different cultures. Apart from maybe Montreal. In Montreal, people who have lived there for a long time, they're quite integrated. But for the rest of Canada is only English. There's a small number of French people here and there in Ontario or some provinces, but it's all English.
That's amazing that a little pocket of French exists in Canada. That's so cool. I love that.
I have a friend who did some work down in Australia, and I think the funniest thing the Australians ever asked him was, "Why is there a Canada?"
Canada.
Because it was there before United States.
That's right. That's right. You have every right to be there. We've got nothing to say about it.
The NFL brags about how they just had like their 51st Super Bowl or whatever, but the Grey Cup, the Canadian version of that, they're like 115th or something like that. You know, Canada's forever old. They've been around forever. Go Canada. But anyway, my Canadian question for you is, I got a bag of chips at the store today, and it said it's Canada's #1 flavor. If you had to guess Canada's #1 flavor of chip, Michelle, what would you, as a Canadian, say?
I don't know. I don't eat chips very much. Ketchup.
That's what I thought. When the last time I was in Canada, granted that was 10 years ago or more, it was ketchup chips were huge. Everyone was eating the ketchup chips. And, you know, we saw those in the United States, but they never really caught on very well. But anyway, I brought this bag of chips home. Michelle, have you ever heard, does all dressed make sense to you? Is that a phrase that you're aware of?
Yeah.
Okay. See, that we don't lead. Do you know what that means? All dressed?
No, I saw some of those chips in the store the other day, though.
Yeah, they're actually really good. I don't know what it means, Michelle. I think it's just like some combination of sweet and savory barbecue sort of combination of spice.
Yeah, it's kind of barbecue, but with more spices.
Yeah, it's delicious, really good, and it's got a lot more sweetness than you would think too. It's a good deal. And other than that, I need some poutine in my life, Michelle. You want to?
Yeah, you should come to my place in Drummondville. That's the kind of the reputation of the big poutine city.
Oh,
there's even a festival during summer. Whole week festival.
You're making my mouth water. All you have to do is say poutine festival, and I'll bring a sleeping bag. I'll come shack up on your floor. We'll be buddies and go eat poutine. That sounds good to me.
I'll look at you eating because I don't eat that. My liver is
rich food on the outs. That's too bad. So anyway,
I've got no idea what you're talking about. I used to live in New England. So we, saw Canadians once in a while, but I have no idea what poutine is.
Poutine? I think it's just French fries and gravy, right, Michelle? Is there anything more to it than that?
Yeah, cheese.
Cheese. Oh, cheese
Lots of
curd.
cheese. Lots of cheese.
Of course there's cheese. There has to be cheese.
Yeah. That's the poutine. That's the cheese.
Lots of different meats and stuff, right?
Sometimes they will put some pieces of chicken with green peas. That's one kind of poutine. And sometimes they will put spaghetti sauce instead of the brown sauce.
I don't know. Put it all on. Sounds good to me. Hey, I've heard Tom Green and Norm Macdonald both refer to a Montreal meat sandwich.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't go to McDonald's.
I'm throwing all my ignorant American questions at the Canadian in the room tonight, so I apologize. Yeah, but poutine, Lee. I'm all about French fries and gravy. I could eat that sort of stuff all day.
Well, I could, yeah. You know, again, not too much of it, but sounds like it'd be good once in a while.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's
I don't know. Do you call them English peas?
Oh my goodness. So guys, what have you been doing in Fallout recently? Do you have any Fallout adventures, news, anything you want to mention off the top of the show here?
Go ahead, Lee.
Just trying to get to where I need to be. I've been kind of busy outside of the game, and I've gotten to level 30, but I'm just now heading west to go find the transfer center, or whatever they call it.
Yeah, the Nuka World
Transportation Center.
Something like that. Yeah, where you catch the tram and take it into the park there. But you said you've done it before with a different character, correct?
Just the first part of it.
The gauntlet part.
Yeah, the gauntlet. And is that what you're referring to, where you fight the guy in the power armor?
It's the whole maze up to and including the final squirt gun battle with the guy in the power armor. Yeah. I think that's really fun. His power armor is connected to the ceiling like a bumper car.
Yeah.
I think that's really cute the way they did that. I kind of enjoy that whole battle, how they threw, a child's toy solution of the problem. I love it when games do stuff like that. It's really fun. Yeah. This sort of forces you out of using, because I would have just gone in there with my explosive radium rifle and just sort of like try to go to town on a guy, make him pop out of his power armor, squirt, 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 and then switch over the gun and everything. But, but the squirt gun really makes you kind of use a different technique and different tactics. I like it when the game makes you do that.
Yeah, it was very different.
Yeah. So you got into Tales of the Commonwealth stuff, though.
Oh yeah, I had had it before, and like the Boston Bordello stuff. Yeah, this is like about the third or fourth time I'd played through that.
Yeah,
that thing. I had not played the other one though, the Under the Bridge.
Isn't that crazy?
And, found that kind of interesting.
Yeah, that was a really great quest. I really enjoyed that. It seemed very different to how a normal Fallout 4 quest is structured. It seemed like there wasn't, of course there wasn't a ton of battle, a ton of action to it.
Right. The family reminded me a lot of the who's the guy who lives in the middle of town? He has the
guy,
the Securitron robot.
the Jack Cabot. Is that his name?
Jack Cabot. That's the guy. Yeah. And their family reminded me kind of his family.
Yeah, sort of the interesting family dynamics there. Yeah. That's good. All right. Well, hey, Michelle, what have you been getting into?
Since I had nothing much to do with my roundtable character, I was too much ahead. I've created another one. just for fun. Vanessa Gurley.
Oh, nice.
And everything I do is just for fun. If I feel to explore, I explore. If I feel to do a quest, I do a quest. But no goal, no planning, nothing.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. That's really fun.
That's what I've been doing in Fallout for a year and a half now.
I'm playing quite that style, but you always have the main quest or some other quest, or okay, I'll try to get the railroad. Now I just at the moment I play, if I feel to go explore, I go explore. If I pass near the Cambridge police station, I may go and help dance with the goons. But if I don't feel like it, I pass, and that's it.
Yeah. No,
And she's already level 21. Yeah, 21.
You've got two simultaneous characters. Do you now when you were doing Jennifer? I feel like you were dedicated just to you played her and only her. Did you don't usually spin off a lot of characters like Victor or something, right? You usually play just one.
No, yeah, just one game, just one character.
Yeah, I find it, especially on Xbox, it's difficult to have lots of different characters going because then you have to, like I've mentioned on the show before, be sort of like a conspiracy theorist, and like in the back of your basement with strings leading to pictures of maps and all sorts of pamphlets and weird connection. Just because each character has like their own set of mods or whatever that you have loaded. So now you got to keep track of which mods go with which character, and that gets super annoying. So I'm actually starting to become more of a let's not play a bunch of different characters at once, because then all of a sudden I go to load my roundtable character and then it's like you are missing this, and this. You must activate these in order to start, and then this whole annoying process. So I just like to do my one character at a time these days. There's Victor has like 5-6 people. He also plays characters to, he won't play a character to level 100. You know what I mean? He'll play it to like 20 or 30, and then he'll be like, oh, okay, let's have another idea. Something fun to try. So that's always respectable.
I don't change the mods. I have the same mods with my 3 characters.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what are a couple of your favorites? What are your staple mods?
These from the Commonwealth, and if you like followers, try R404. You can find her at the Railroad HQ. She has a very good story.
Yeah, I ran into her the other day.
Yeah, a bit like I'd say similar to what's her name, Curie.
Yes.
With a nice change at the end. Apart from that,
I haven't
mods. Let me see what I've got. I use Better Settlers.
Better Settlers.
Because they you have more different kind of settlers, different faces, different clothes, different armor. That's one I like. Transfer settlements. I've started to use it. Mm-hmm. And I love that. I used to spend 10, 12, 15 hours creating a settlement. Now I just export a blueprint from Jennifer's game, import the blueprint in my actual game, and that's it.
Amazing.
The only thing to have to do is rerun the power grid. The wires are not there when you import the blueprint. Yeah, everything else is there.
I assume that's PC only. There's no way a console could handle that, right?
I don't know, because they just take what you have done in your settlement.
Yeah, I don't know.
They store it in memory and they put it back on the new game. There's no different assets.
Right. That's what I was going to say. No different assets.
No.
Say the name of that mod again, please.
Transfer settlements.
Transfer settlements. Oh, that's nice. I'll have to look into that.
I've been tempted by that, but hadn't made the plunge yet.
What are you running?
I've got
Michelle, question there.
Michelle, do you have anything else? Okay. Excuse me. Of course, I've got the clothing mods in, and like I said before, the main thing I like about that is that you can put armor over just about anything. And Ellie Honora has a pack called Ellie's Armor Compendium, and that has a lot of good-looking armors in it. Let's see. I've recently picked up one called FNP90, which I don't know if do you remember from Stargate SG-1, the little short bullpup submachine guns they had? Those are F90s or P90s.
Nice. I've never actually seen them, That's I love it when they build in cultural references to other things in the game. That's great.
Well, they had them in I think Fallout 1 and 2 had the
Wow.
P90 also. And actually, I recently had to undo all my mods and put them all back in. So right at the moment, I don't have a P90. But the first time I played through it, the first time I happened to find one was on a synth, and they have their own color scheme for the gun. So it's white and blue instead of olive drab.
Is the beam a different color too? I saw where they're shooting green beams. I was like, oh, I haven't seen green beams. That's cool.
I wanted to say the one I had was blue, but I'm not positive. And if you get it in the from another source, like from a Raider or something, it may just be using ammunition. Though I've never used one that wasn't the energy cells, so I'm not sure what the whether it's 45 ammo or 10 millimeter or what.
I didn't even think of that. The energy cells that you use,
they're the same.
Some guns shoots a red laser, like the charging laser musket. That's a red, but the stuff from the Institute uses blue, right? And it's still just energy cells. So that's interesting that it's the same ammo, but the lasers are different.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure they call the one from the Institute a laser.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just an Institute pistol.
particle beam or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
I know nothing in real life about weapons. What's a P90?
It's a little submachine gun. It's about maybe 2 feet long. It's not even 2 feet, more like 18 inches long. And it's got a really strange hand grip. So when you're holding it, the whole thing is like between your shoulders. It's that short. And instead of having a clip on the bottom, it has a clip on the top. And it's sideways. It's in line with the barrel. And the rounds are loaded into it sideways. And when they go into the gun, they flip around to, where they're in line with the barrel. It's a very interesting design.
It's crazy. That sounds like there is room for error. That like you could have some misfires if it's flipping bullets over before it's charging.
No, that's all internal to the gun. So
that's but I think I know what you're talking about. It's got like the banana clip coming out of the side.
No.
No.
This sets flat along the top.
That's so weird.
It is weird. It's what they call a bullpup design. I don't know why they call it that, but
that's a cool name, though.
It's a very different kind of thing.
Yeah.
What's the capacity?
Well, here again, I picked up a Institute one, and it was an advanced one. So the one I got had a capacity of like 80, but I would think the standard one would be more down in the 30 range.
Okay.
Yes. I actually had a little bit of a message to you, Lee, from another member of our community, Victor. Everyone, please go out and download Victor's new show, Mod Talk. ASA Mod Talk can be found in iTunes or at asapodcasting.com or Victor's personal website. Oh, man, I can't remember that off the top of my head. I apologize for that, Victor.
He mentioned it on that latest podcast because they show up on my Pocket Casts.
The Open World, I believe.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Open World. So check out the Open World and ASA Mod Talk. Victor, he's done a couple of longer episodes, but he's also doing these little shorties to get quick and vital information out to you quickly about mods. But like I said, Lee, he had a message specifically to you. Here, let me see if I can find it really quickly here. Oh, I was opening an email. He sent it to me in Messenger here. He said, sent an update to the Gmail address. One thing I forgot to mention to Lee. Lee was talking about some armor mods and said that CBBE was required for a lot of them. That isn't necessarily the case.
Well, it's one of 2 or 3 body mods that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just one of the ones that I was aware of, and there are 2 or 3 others.
And he goes on to mention that isn't necessarily the case.
Right.
Ellie's, for instance, has a vanilla version available. Many armor mods do, both in Skyrim and Fallout. So Victor had that little tidbit for us. And speaking of Victor, guys, he sent in some audio feedback. So let's just go ahead and jump into Victor's audio feedback immediately here. And we will start to check in with our play-along feedback, guys. So we've got play-along feedback that we're going to get into from Leon and Paul and Adam, Jeremy, Jay, and Victor tonight. And we'll also try, if we have time, to get into the King of the Bunker Hill Quiz Show Challenge, Round 3, Michelle versus Nate. So we'll look forward to that in the episode coming up. So let's go ahead and check in with Victor first here. And say, if you guys are interested in doing a play-along character, by the way, please just drop us a line in the email, thefalloutfeed@gmail.com. And you can go to our website, asapodcasting.com, and click on the Fallout Feed section. And then you can scroll to the section that says the Fallout Roundtable Character Generator. If you click on that, it'll produce some random stats and a cool little Pip-Boy spreadsheet type thing that Marcus, our talented IT guy, designed for. So thanks so much again, Marcus. So if you would like to produce your own random stats, then just drop us a line about what you got. Then we'd love to hear all your adventures as you play along, and all the quests can be found in the schedule if you just keep scrolling down on that same page on the website. And if you'd like to keep up, hey, and I've had people already writing in, oh my God, I'm too late. I missed the beginning of the season. I can't catch up, Go ahead, guys. This is a slow, long process. We could be 5 episodes deep into this roundtable, and we'll still be taking new people. So if it doesn't matter, if you're hearing this at a later date, go ahead, roll yourself a character, and I guarantee you, by the time that we're airing an episode, you can catch up to us. We play really slow. We take this this is a long play, and we get really into depth and detail. So you do have time. Go ahead and catch up with us and play along. No one's too late. And we love everyone to join. So again, just drop us a line at thefalloutfeed@gmail.com. Get yourself a random character, and we'd love to hear from you. So speaking of which, let's go ahead and hear from Victor.
The shadowy group that was to become the Enclave had many operatives at all levels of government and society. Marla Sherman was such an operative. As a descendant of W.T. Sherman, they felt her genes were perfect for their long-term plans. She had clear knowledge of the coming apocalypse, as well as the purpose of Vault 111. So late in October of 2077, she took a trip to Sanctuary Hills, Massachusetts, to visit her twin sister Gemma, Gemma's husband Nate, and their baby Sean. 2 days before the bombs fell, she paid a visit to the vault and arranged a place for herself and her family in the cryo chambers, just in case. Nate and Gemma had already been chosen for the vault. Marla used the power of her employers to take the place reserved for the Vault Tech rep. She was right behind her sister and brother-in-law as they ran for safety. Marla could not share her knowledge of the vault's purpose with her family. She could only hope that they would survive the long sleep. As she drifted off in her cryopod, her last thought was a slight pang of guilt as she remembered passing the panicked Vault Tech rep at the gates. On waking, she finds Nate, whom she liked very much, dead, and her sister and child missing. Marla is trained in stealth and survival and specializes in operating autonomously and alone. She is well aware that her sister is also very resourceful. Exploring the vault, Marla finds her sister gone, but she knows what to do and searches for a spare Pip-Boy. Her primary purpose, she knows, will be to survive. Gemma will fend for herself, and perhaps they will meet someday. Hi, everyone. This is Victor from the Facebook group, and this is Marla Sherman's story and my play-along for this season on the round table. Marla begins her journey with a pretty cool role, Strength of 5, with the Blacksmith perk as the assigned perk, Perception of 6 with Sniper, Endurance of 1 with Lead Belly, Charisma of 4 with Lone Wanderer, Intelligence of 4 with Hacker, Agility of 4 with Gunslinger, and luck of 4 with bloody mess. I think this is a really good role, and it really helped create the character. She's handy with tools and making things. She's a trained sniper. She knows how to forage and survive by eating things others might shun. She's a loner and used to taking care of herself. She's good with computers, with single-shot weapons, and she's not afraid to turn someone into a bloody pulp if necessary. Despite her training, Marla is not hard-hearted. However, she's practical and does not have a lot of patience for those who will not help themselves. She spends her first days out of the vault at the Red Rocket with Dog. Sanctuary holds no meaning for her, except as a scrapyard. In fact, she simply took a right turn right out of the vault and headed away from Sanctuary as quickly as possible. And she goes back there occasionally to grab things. She ranges ever more widely, shot at and attacked by increasingly horrifying mutant animals and bugs and raiders and things. She comes upon a gun battle in Concord. After risking her life killing all the raiders, somebody on the balcony wants her to dash into the museum where there's clearly more shooting going on. Marla's no fool and doesn't trust him at all, so she continues down the road where she meets Carla and hears of Diamond City, a place she feels that might be more likely to increase her chance of long-term survival. On the way, she meets several people who, by their small kindnesses and simple ways, give her hope for humanity. She begins to feel some of the hardness inside her draining away. Trudy, Carla, Doc Anderson, Naya, the Sisters of Oberlin Station, even Piper. In D.C., she hears of the Institute and synths for the first time. She's not sure if any of her former employers are part of it, but they could be. However, this is a new world in which Marla feels no allegiance to a life 200 years gone. Her adventures include a hostage rescue for Oberlin Station, finding paint for a gruff but kindly man in Diamond City, cleaning up some trash for a small boy who peddles water, finding a locket for a family of farmers, a visit to a small enclave called Good Neighbor, where she decides the mayor is a complete asshole, and a violent and bloody struggle through a house of horrors known as Pickman Gallery. The owner deserves to die, but Marla decides to deal with him later. Nearby, she finds the Freedom Trails end at a church, and she enters. In the basement, after deciphering a childishly simple puzzle, she meets the shadowy organization known as the Railroad. Her impressions of the Institute are poor, but knowing what she does of technology before the war, she has no doubt that the synths of the world she is in now could be very human, and thus in need of a quiet and deadly ally. She resolves to see what the Railroad is all about and leaves with Deacon. He's not at all the covert professional that Marla is. He's rather more like a little boy playing dress-up, but he's earnest and committed, and she likes him. So Marla is at level 14 now. She has still a strength of 5, and she's taken the first level of armorer and the first level of blacksmith, her assigned perk. She has taken 1 bobblehead and 1 extra point in perception, so she's now at 8 with the first level of sniper. She has taken 1 level of endurance extra with the special book, and she now has the first level of lead belly, which is her assigned perk. She's still at level 4 in charisma, so she's not really good at winning challenges, but that's not too surprising considering her background and her personality. She does have the first perk in Lone Wanderer. She's at intelligence of 4, but she's taken, along with the first level of hacker, she's also taken the first level of medic and the first level of gun nut. She's still at agility 4, but she's taken 2 levels in gunslinger now, and she's still at the 4th in luck, but she's also taken 2 levels of bloody mess. So she's taken all of her assigned perks, at least 1 level, and a couple of them 2 levels. I'm having a lot of fun with this character. She is one of my family of Shermans. Her sister Gemma, who was mentioned at the beginning, is also part of one of my other playthroughs. And with that one, I am using a big PC mod called Horizon, which is a survival overhaul mod. Marla is being played on Xbox with a list of mods, and I'll post a picture of her and her mod list on the Facebook group after this episode of the roundtable or this feedback airs, I guess. So that's it. I don't want to run on too long. I think it's been about 8 or 9 minutes now, so that's enough. And I hope you all keep up with the roundtable and submit your own updates and really enjoy all of this, and I'll keep updating it as well. Thank you all for listening, and Andrew, thank you so much for doing this. It really wouldn't be the same without you. It is all you, the roundtable. Thank you.
Well, Victor, thank you for your kind words and amazing feedback. Victor nails the shit out of the park. He can role play like no one I've ever seen. I love how he does these intertwining stories of different playthroughs that are related people. He did this in Skyrim too with all of our roundtables. He would write these characters in together, and they'd be cousins or brothers and sisters or a father and daughter, you know. And then he would play all these different characters. And like I was saying, like he starts lots of characters, like I was telling Michelle earlier. But that's one of the ways that he finds ways to explore different aspects of the game that he wouldn't otherwise.
Yeah, he's
experience.
very creative.
It's amazing. And I just saw you commented. I haven't I stack things up and listen in batches, so I haven't caught the last bunch of episodes for his Let's Play Skyrim. He just did a companions Let's Play. And Michelle, you were just saying how amazing that was.
Oh yeah, I really liked his Let's Play, especially like I said on the Facebook page, the relation that he has with his companions, his followers, and the other NPCs. I like the way he plays it.
Yeah, he is on a different level than me. I'll fully admit that.
I think Victor could role play a rock, and we'd all love it, just because he's that good.
Rock, Victor. Tell me, like, and I would be intrigued, and I would be enthralled to sit there and listen to tell me a song, or not a song, but a story about a rock. You know, because he could do it.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any comments about Victor's feedback?
No, that's a nice twist. The way he started at the vault. That the girl got a place in the vault, and she knew the place, but not that much, so he can go freely now.
How did she get a place in the vault if she didn't have an address in Sanctuary Hills? Just that her relative lived in Sanctuary, so she somehow got permission.
She was connected. I think she had connections.
She just used her influence to snake her way in there, and too bad for the Vault Tech rep.
Yeah,
what'll they mate?
That poor guy. Whatever. He shouldn't have been so pushy at the first place, right? Maybe he deserves it. So Marla Sherman, that's great to hear from you. I also love that he's playing Gemma, the sister, on a different. He's playing her on PC, I think. But that's all. So he mentioned he ran into Carla, who was saying, "Hey, go to Diamond City." Carla, I assume, is Trash can Carla?
Yeah, Trash Can Carla. When you spoke to him, when you speak to her the first time, she talks about the Diamond City. She asks you, "Are you gonna trade, or are you another one who's gonna ask me where is Diamond City?"
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing she says.
Jewel of the Commonwealth pops up, or whatever that quest is that says "Go find Diamond City."
Yeah,
something.
Marker.
He said, because I brought that up because he said he was going to go to Concord, and then he heard a battle, and then he said, I'm not going to get drawn into that, and then he headed south and ran into Carla. And that just made me think, oh, that's interesting. I wonder what her trade path is. Do you have any idea where she hits, what individual settlement she goes to, what town she goes through?
Yeah, no, she hits the Drummond Diner, and she also hits Sanctuary Hills. And I've seen her on the road between them, but I don't remember seeing her stopped anywhere else.
Does she stop at Abernathy or Red Rocket or?
No, I've never seen her elsewhere.
Yeah, I always just run into her in Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Or I've seen her walking in between. You're right, but I've never seen her stopped anywhere else besides Sanctuary. So you said that she stops at the diner. That Oh, where they have the kid on drugs or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. Pat is always having an argument with Dennis and I about how we play that out. I always just kill everyone.
Well, I kill the bad guys. I don't kill the.
You got to kill everyone, Lee. Leave no witnesses.
You lose a traitor when you kill everyone.
Yeah, you're right. I'm bad at that. I don't think consequences beforehand. So he mentioned Carla. Cool. The hostage rescue from Oberlin Station. Then we brought up how Oberlin Station, that quest isn't exactly always the same. Like sometimes they send you to clear it out. Sometimes they send you to fetch items. Sometimes they do this and that. Sometimes it's go save a hostage. I'd only ever gotten the hostage. Like I'd gotten that one like 4 times. And then the last time that I got it, it was something different. I was like, whoa, what happened? Like, but I didn't know it was a different thing. Do you guys get that hostage, or do you usually get a different spawn of that quest?
Various things. I think it varies.
See, I've never had it varied, and then it varied once, and it blew my mind. I was just like, "What happened?" There's supposed to be a person in this closet. I wasn't even paying attention that it said just clear it out. It didn't. Usually it says rescue the hostage, and I was just like, "There's no person here. What happened? It's a setup. Everybody run!"
I just posted a couple pictures of the P90 mod in the Skyrim Addict page on Facebook.
Oh, nice. Facebook.com/a Skyrim Addict podcast is our Facebook group. So or you can just search a Skyrim Addict podcast and the Fallout feed. You can either search for that or put in that web address, and that'll get you right there. Join the Facebook group, everybody. It's a lot of fun. We do lots of interacting, lots of good stories, lots of good conversations. That's how I met these 2 chumps that are on the show tonight. So,
yeah.
Abernathy Farm. Do you guys go get that locket a lot?
Oh yeah.
Mrs. Abernathy, the cutest girl in all the wasteland. You know why? With my game, in my game with Shirley, she's been kidnapped 4 times already. Everybody wants her.
What's her name? Connie or something? Connie? Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Connie Abernathy.
Connie Abernathy.
You want a piece of Connie Abernathy.
Her daughter's not bad either.
Yeah. I wonder why they take the mother.
I like Clarabelle personally.
Yeah.
There's another one. There's another named Brahmin over there. I've been doing a little research on a bug. I've been having a really nasty bug, guys. And it's messing with the scripts, which is causing all sorts of problems. Like my water purifiers aren't producing water. I can't assign settlers to jobs. I can't send provisioners out to different points. It's messing with that sort of the game. All of my quests are fine. Everything, I can go out and complete quests and keep progressing. So I'm not going to trash the character, but I'm at a breaking point where if I had to restart, I could still and catch back up before we record again. You know what I mean? Like I'm at that point, but if we go too much further in the story, I'd be way too far behind. So I'm at a breaking point. I have to decide.
You've just got too many settlers and followers. That's all.
Yeah, that's basically what Victor and I were talking. I thought it was caused by mods, of course, because I added a bunch of mods and stuff. And so Victor and I were trying to do a diagnosis and go through everything. But we sort of came to the conclusion that this problem started happening to other players even before mods were available for Xbox. So it's actually in the script of the game itself. And evidently Bethesda could fix this, but no one knows if they actually will. But there's evidently some sort of bug where you can gum up the script and then assignments start taking longer and longer and longer each time.
I wonder if there's a fix in the unsanctioned patch mod. I can't remember the name of it. Unofficial Fallout 4 patch.
The unofficial Fallout 4 patch has actually caused more problems with my playthroughs recently than solved. So I've actually kind of had to deactivate that. And Victor also suggested that, hey, that thing is actually causing some problems with a lot of stuff right now. So maybe just
I know it got updated recently.
Yeah.
Are you using the Nexus Mod Manager? Or are
Me?
you using the? Yeah.
No. I play on Xbox.
Oh, duh.
So
Okay.
I play. I just have to use the good old the Bethesda store or whatever they connect me to.
Yeah. Do you know if there's okay, on the PC there's a utility called Loot that will go in and analyze the mods you've got and reorder the files if need be to improve things, and that's helped me a lot. I don't know if there's an equivalent for Xbox or not.
Yeah, an auto organizer would probably help me a ton, but evidently Victor and I just figured out that this was an old problem that has been happening a long time. In certain playthroughs, it just happens, and so he said it can be caused and made worse by having hoarding lots of items and having lots of followers at settlements. And I, of course, do both of those things. So I'm guilty of that. So I've kind of trashed that aspect of the game. But my stories and stuff are still totally playable. Listen to that. I'm saying my stories. Like,
yeah, I'm sorry. I was just giving you crap. Sorry, I was just giving you crap. Didn't realize you had a real problem.
It's I think I can play with it though, guys. It's still not. The game is not dead because early on in the game, before the problem actually started getting bad, I had done a lot of Minutemen stuff. So I have a ton, not all, but a ton of the settlements already connected through trade. I would say a good probably 70% of the ones that are in the game. So I've got a majority of them, which I might be able to just play with it like that. You know, I'm always so dedicated to the playing around with my dolls, aka that maybe I need to get out of that a little bit in this playthrough and go do other stuff. Figure out other aspects of the game to explore. But
so who's your raider faction?
I haven't even really gotten there yet. I got my list in front of me. The Commonwealth. So
well, that's no help.
I have go and kill him, I guess.
Yeah, I'm Commonwealth too, but I was thinking if you had one of the raider factions assigned to you, then you could use them to call the herd, so to speak.
Yeah. Go. Oh no. See, that is a good question, Lee. Victor told me get rid of some of your settlers, and I was thinking, is that an option? That you can't you can't just open a menu and be like, hey, you, why don't you skedaddle off to Abernathy Farm? Hey, you, go over to the castle. What are you doing here? Go over to 10 Pines Bluff. No one wants to get sent to 10 Pines Bluff, but
since they're not companions, you can probably kill them.
I see. That's also what I was thinking. But won't they all aggro as soon as you kill one? So I have to be stealthy about it. So
it just makes it easier.
But then again,
to eliminate a lot of them.
Think about this also, Lee. I was using Sanctuary Hills as my hub for provisioning. Right. So I have like 17 people in the settlement, but 11 of them are provisioners that like you never see. You know, like you have to wait around for 24. I don't know. How long does a loop take? How long does it fucking take to walk to the castle and back? That's got to take a week. I don't know how long it takes that route, but you got to wait around for those provisioners, and you got to kill them all secretively, and then that kills your the trade route that isn't broken yet.
Yeah, and even though you've sent them off too, they've got to have a bed.
Yeah,
wherever their home was.
So can I set a mine? Well, can I put a mine in?
Mine all the beds.
What about one of those traps that I never play with? Can you hook up one of those like a Tesla shocking things, or there's like a spear trap? Can you make a fucking spear trap come up like through his mattress or something? Oh, Lee, we're gonna kill some settlers.
That's a mistake I don't do anymore.
What's that?
Using the settlers at Sanctuary Hills as provisioners. As soon as I unlock a settlement, I send one of my I move a settler to that settlement, and then assign them to the supply line with Sanctuary Hills.
How do you move the settlers?
Yeah, how do you move the settlers? That's the question I was just asking.
Just go in the build menu, and you got the option supply line or move. You have assign, move, supply line.
Holy shit!
I just never noticed the move option.
I didn't even.
Yeah.
Lee, what are we doing here?
we're obviously too focused on the wrong things.
I'm glad we have someone on the show who actually knows what they're talking about.
Yeah, Michelle's just opened her eyes.
Okay, so we need to get cranking on this audio feedback here, guys. So let's go ahead and experience more of the game through. Let's start with Adam here. Thanks, Adam, for writing in. We love hearing from you. Adam will actually be appearing on a upcoming episode of King of the Bunker Hill Trivia Quiz Show Challenge. So let's hear from Adam.
Hi, I'm Adam, calling in from Grand Rapids, Michigan. My roundtable character is named Scarlett, and she was assigned Codsworth as her companion, the Boston Airport as her main settlement, Paladin Dance as her romance option, the Brotherhood of Steel as her faction, and the Pack as her Nuka World faction. Although she was assigned to the Boston Airport, I've decided to use a different settlement. There are just too many restrictions on the Boston Airport. Her starting stats were Strength 4 with Blacksmith as the assigned perk, Perception 3 with Demolition Expert, Endurance 4 with Rad Resistant, Charisma 4 with Animal Friend, Intelligence 5 with Vans, Agility 2 with Mr. Sandman, and Luck 6 with Idiot Savant. I must say that Idiot Savant is a great perk, especially when it procs from turning in a big quest. I went from level 16 to 18 after turning in just one quest. Even though a lot of people, including the Fudge Muppets, thumbed down the Vans perk, I actually found it helpful in a few situations. During one of Pam's jackpot quests, I could not find the entrance the waypoint indicator was trying to lead me to. By using Vans, I was able to backtrack and find another path I had overlooked earlier. For this playthrough, I'm using the following mods: the unofficial Fallout 4 patch, Tales of the Commonwealth, Old World Radio Boston, Ponytail Hairstyles by Azar, The Eyes of Beauty Fallout Edition, Caliente's Beautiful Bodies Enhancer, also known as CBBE, Armored Hats, and the CBBE edition of the Commonwealth Mini Dresses mod. So Scarlett was born to William and Doris O'Brien. She was named after her mother's favorite fictional character, Scarlett O'Hara. William was a prominent dentist in the greater Boston area and loved to hunt. Scarlett would often accompany her father, showing a natural talent with rifles and had an amazing rapport with animals. She attended the best schools and could make seemingly random and often baffling leaps in logic that always seemed to pan out. Her parents desired her to become a lawyer, but with the tensions with China heating up, she opted to join the Army Corps of Engineers first. After the invasion of Anchorage, Scarlett was sent in front in Alaska, where she trained in demolitions and learned how to maintain weapons and armor. She also met and fell in love with her future husband, Nate Williamson. Her tour ended before Nate's, and she returned home to Boston and fulfilled her parents' wishes that she become a lawyer. Once Nate returned from the front, the lovebirds were married and moved to Sanctuary Hills. A year later, they had their first child, Sean. After the incident in Vault 111, Scarlett is struggling to keep her sanity. Although she knows Nate is dead, and fully believes Sean is dead as well, she keeps Codsworth with her as a reminder of happier times. But the more time she spends in the wasteland, the more she comes to believe that the only way to save the Commonwealth is through a strong hand. Scarlett is currently level 25 and has befriended Codsworth, gaining his companion perk. He currently has a Strength of 4, Perception 5, Endurance 6, Charisma 5, Agility 4, and Luck 6. Perks are Armor 2, Rifleman 3, Locksmith 2, Aqua Girl 1, Animal Friend 1, Vans 1, Gun Nut 2, Hacker 1, Science 1, Sneak 1, Mr. Sandman 1, and Idiot Savant 2. She is using a Boston Police mini dress with Ballistic Weave 3, a Trilby hat with Ballistic Weave 3, and fully shadowed leather armor with muffled legs and stabilized arms. I'm currently using a serrated Chinese officer sword, a compensated powerful combat shotgun, and a Deadeye calibrated powerful sniper rifle. The Deadeye legendary perk is nice as it slows down time for a short period after looking through a scope. Once I have gun nut 4, I will add a suppressor to my sniper rifle to make use of the Mr. Sandman perk. I chose to concentrate on rifles over handguns because Scarlet's starting perception was higher than her agility, and rank 2 of Vans gives a +2 to perception. Now I'll go through the quests, in the order that I did them. I started off activating Saints and Sinners by mistake. I was on my way to Diamond City for the first time and noticed someone I'd never seen in any of my previous playthroughs standing on a street corner just north of Diamond City. Her name was Sadie, but as I approached to talk to her, she drew her weapon and started firing in my direction. I backed off in a hurry and then realized she was firing at someone named Saint across the street, who was returning fire. Not knowing what was going on and completely missing the HUD colors, I beat feet to Diamond City as quickly as I could. Many moons later, I was back in the area to do the Railroad Mercer's Safe House quest at Hangman's Alley, but an unknown quest updated with an instruction to talk to Sadie. I had forgotten about the earlier incident and wondered who Sadie was. Looking through my quest, I realized I had started Saints and Sinners without realizing it. I went back to Sadie and she told me about a turf war between the Boston Bordello and the Saints. I followed her into the Bordello and upstairs to talk to her drink-loving employer, Cue Ball. After that, Sadie asked me to follow her to an old church where the Saints were meeting. En route, I was ambushed by some raiders and lost sight of Sadie. I stumbled around and finally found the church, Holy Mission Congregation. Moments after I entered the church, Sadie and I were ambushed by a group of saints. It had been a trap. We returned to the bordello, but on my way upstairs I was approached by a patron who identified himself as a saint. He gave me some disturbing insight into the reasons behind the turf war and asked me to deliver a letter to Cue Ball. He read the letter and gave me some options. I chose to return one of the bordello workers named Jane to her family. I also had the option of assassinating the saint leader. I decided against it and escorted Jane down the road to Anna's diner. The patron I met in the bordello thanked me for my assistance in finding peace and assured me he would see Jane back to her family. He also made it seem that I had made friends with the saints, maybe even enough to join the inner circle, and that we would most likely meet again. I returned to Cue Ball and was rewarded with experience and a bottle of Widow Jane 8-year bourbon. There are 2 things I will do differently the next time I play this quest. One, I will spend more time exploring and talking to the people in the Boston Bordello. Second, I will remember to read the note that the patron gave me to give to Cue Ball. Sometime later, I approached the Nuka World Transit Center at level 22 with Paladin Dance. We took out the gunners and found Harvey inside. He told us about how his family was tricked into going to Nuka World. He escaped from the raiders, but asked me to go back for his family. I found it very suspicious that Harvey refused my stim pack, even though he supposedly took a bullet trying to escape. I kept thinking, this is probably a trap. I used the password Harvey had given me to turn on the main power and then turned on the auxiliary power, which appears to have caused the automated announcer to start up. I thought, this is kind of cool. Dance and I stepped onto the monorail and began our trip to Nuka World. At this point, someone named Gage hijacked the announcer on the monorail and confirmed that Harvey had indeed sent me into a trap. Sometimes I hate being right. Gage then informed me that if I survived, he might have a proposition for me. Upon arriving at Nuka World, Dance and I entered the gauntlet. As we progressed, the announcer tormented us and mocked me continually because I was going so slowly. We got to a section with 3 doors. I chose the middle door first and found a clapping monkey. I shot its head off. Next, I opened the left door to find the hallway out, but I decided to go back to the right door, just for shits and giggles. It was a bunch of grenades. I backpedaled quickly, but Dance wasn't quite as agile. I kept traveling through the gauntlet and came to a room filling with gas. The door locked behind me, keeping Dance out of the room. Scarlet began to choke, and so I quickly equipped my hazmat suit, which seemed to stop the choking. I also equipped my melee weapon to avoid setting off the gas. Shortly after escaping the gas chamber, I came to Overboss Coulter's room. Gage contacted me via an intercom. He gave me a special weapon to use against Coulter's power armor. Gage wanted the Overboss out of the way. Dance and I succeeded in defeating the Overboss, which apparently made Scarlet the new Overboss. I was rewarded with 620 experience. I returned home before meeting up with Gage. From there, I made my way to the third rail for a little rest and relaxation. Before I could even sit down at the bar, I was approached by a ghoul named Audrey. She asked me to become her hired muscle, and then she became my follower. Go figure. I sent Dance back to Sanctuary Hills to keep an eye on Codsworth. You know how anxious he gets when I'm not around. Audrey and I traveled to the Old North Church, and I headed south to a subway station. Upon entering, Audrey spoke about a family reunion. At the time, I wasn't sure exactly what she meant. We found several dead bodies, and she identified one as her brother, Arthur. We listened to his holotape, I spoke to Audrey about it, and then searched for clues. I discovered a suspicious photo in one of the cash registers, which led Audrey to believe her sister Margaret was the one behind Arthur's death. We headed to Tremont Street Speakeasy to confront her. There we met Margaret, who had somehow transferred her consciousness into a synth body. She apparently had been working for Arthur, with him none the wiser, letting her collect the information she and Audrey would eventually need to collect their inheritance. I then escorted Audrey and Margaret to the summer estate, a place the family used to call home. Margaret had two of the codes from the other siblings, Barnaby and Antoinette. We got into the vault, but then discovered that we needed the other three siblings alive to solve some puzzles designed specifically for each sibling by their father. Apparently, he wanted them to learn to work together. With a family like this, who needs enemies? By cooking a squirrel stew, I passed the first test. I got it wrong the first time, too much water. I passed the second test by performing a stage production as the Silver Shroud, and passed the third test by taking a baseball bat to some furniture. It appears Antoinette had an inner Hulk. After performing Audrey's test, which just involved listening to a holotape, we unlocked the safe. All that was in it was a vial of the mysterious serum, the same stuff Jack Cabot had me recover, and some ammo. Margaret then turned on us. She had reprogrammed the robots she was supposed to have shut down during her test, and took the serum. I let her live, and Audrey became a full-time companion, granting me the Social Climber perk and 434 experience. The Social Climber perk gives me 1.5 times selling prices and 1.5 times more likely to pass a charisma check. Yay! I wonder if Audrey's father knew Jack Cabot before he died. Well, that's all for the first episode. Thanks for letting me join in the fun. This play-along has been brought to you by the Fallout Feed, a Skyrim Addict podcasting production, bringing you Boy Farms and Burning Nordbeard since 2013.
That's the way to do it, folks. You've heard two pretty darn good examples so far from Victor and Adam. Just a couple of quick thoughts. That sucks about Boston Airport. That's a shitty draw. You can't do anything over there, guys. Have you ever tried? You can't put a fucking water spigot in the ground. You can't plant a ear of corn. You can't do any. You can plant, or you can't plant. You can build a rat arch. You can build some other stuff, but they don't want you living there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wonder what the Brotherhood thinks when they move in.
Yeah, they obviously don't need water or anything. Or their build, they must not have the same build parameters as us, Lee. They must be able to put their purifier in the water. It's just maddening. There's water 12 inches away from your outer build perimeter there. You got the bay, this huge bay of water. It'd just be perfect. Drop a purifier in there. That airport sucks. Sorry about that. Anyone who got the airport on a draw, I have this wonderful suggestion for everybody. Across the bay, there's this wonderful little spot, just so perfect. You just take your loved ones, just lay out on the beach. It's so wonderful that everyone can relax and soak up some radiation and sun rays. It's just a little Nordhagen beach. Everyone let the warmth just flow over.
Just across the inlet from the airport.
Just across the bay. Yeah, just across the inlet there. Go have at it. Nordhagen Beach, everybody.
Yeah, if I hadn't screwed mine up.
What'd you do?
I had a hostage quest, and I waited too long and was told I failed it. And so I went back, and I couldn't make it a settlement.
Yeah. I was experiencing that with Oberlin Station with this current character, Lee. Mm-hmm. That's something I failed very early on, and I just passed level 35, and now all of a sudden they gave me a quest to go, and so eventually they will give you another quest.
Okay.
It just took forever. They're like, you fucked up pretty bad the first time.
Yeah, it's pretty sad seeing the guy there with his son and the wife's not around.
Yeah. She get kidnapped by the super mutants up at the fort up the way.
I don't even remember who took her, but I got the failed quest notice, and
So Adam brought up Idiot Savant. He said he jumped from like 16 to 18 in one fell swoop. That's pretty awesome. Idiot Savant is great every once in a while. I don't have it in this character. I think I'd have to jack up my luck a little bit in order to be able to afford it. But that's always something fun to use. He also brought up Vans. Do you guys ever use Vans? He said it was actually helpful.
Never used it.
Never used it.
No, me neither. It's like there's a spell exactly like that in Skyrim that shows you the correct path, but I never used that either. It's like, wow, this is
Yeah, another one.
I'm glad he found it useful. That's great.
Yeah, another one like that I never use is the one that highlights living beings, because it's like, I don't know, it's like, I feel like it gives away too much,
Highlights living beings.
Yeah, so you see all the raiders and junk.
Okay. Oh, you just see, like, is it like heat vision or something? I've never even taken
it. It seems that way because they're red. They come up in red.
Yeah, I've never seen that one. I want to use. I've never actually cashed it in, but I think it sounds really overpowered and awesome. That perk in the perception tree that lets you, in VATS, shoot through solid objects. How is that fair? He's clearly hiding. Yeah, that's awesome. So Vans is useful. That's great for you. He stumbled upon Saints and Sinners. I think we all were discussing that earlier in the group, how we all just kind of, whoops. Okay, you were trying to help Hangman's Alley, and then whoops, you stumbled out, and now I'm halfway through Saints and Sinners, the quest, before you realize, oh wait, I'm in the middle of something here all of a sudden.
Well, if you just take care of the initial set of Saints, you can then ignore Sadie for as long as you want, and then go back and complete it later.
Do you not ever find that dangerous, Lee? Sometimes I find in these Bethesda games, if you let them sit for too long, for some reason the quest can go buggy.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I haven't had any problem with it.
I didn't either. I sparked it way too early, and then I didn't go back to it until 15 at least, maybe 20 levels later, and it was still fine. So I think Chris Takahashi did a good job.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
He always seems to.
Yeah. Okay, what else did we think here from Adam? Let's see. Suspicious Raider setup. I always thought, I was really weirded out that he wouldn't take a stim pack too the first time I went in there, because I actually believed him at first that he was actually a guy, because it kind of sounded like, oh help, they took my family, and that sounded almost real. But when he wouldn't take a stim pack, I was also raised my eyebrow a little bit. You know what I mean?
You got me the first time with Jennifer.
Yeah, he got you.
I believe me. I believe them.
Yeah. No, they do a good job with that. It's a great. That's a fun little trick, fun little trap there. Gosh, I can't even read my. Okay. He was talking about going into the gauntlet and opening up just another door and seeing grenades and stuff there. And that just brought up, and in my playthrough, I have a high sneak. I think I've got 3 points, maybe even 4 points into it by this point, but no, I think just 3. But on the third one, it means you don't set off enemy mines or traps. So half of the gauntlet was me just walking right through, like, you're supposed to have all these trip wires and grenades that pop up, and I just got into sneak and just walked through half of it. And I'm glad that my followers also don't set them. I don't know why, but they weren't.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was wondering.
No, the dog meat didn't. I was expecting him to set off the tripwires and stuff, but I guess my sneak applies to him somehow, which that seems very odd. I don't know why that would happen. Sorry, hazmat suit. He was smart enough to bring a hazmat suit. Lee, if you haven't gone yet, bring a hazmat suit.
I'll probably be in power armor anyway.
Oh, okay. You're a power armor guy. Yeah, that's great.
Well, I'm with Dance, and my Commonwealth faction is the Brotherhood of Steel.
Oh, nice. I made a sort of making fun of the Brotherhood of Steel. I made a Minutemen set of power armor and painted it all Minutemen out, and then I put Preston Garvey in it, and we've been running around. He's like
2 power armors. Good luck in some narrow places.
Yeah.
Like if you do the big dig,
you can't get through half of the tunnels.
Watch out in the tunnel.
I don't think I've ever seen the big dig.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. You better get out.
You should play that. Seek that one out. I think it's in Good Neighbor. There's an alley in Good Neighbor, I think you need to check out.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I haven't hung out in Good Neighbor much.
Yeah. There's a mysterious serum. The same is that really the same serum from Cabot?
Yeah.
It is the same exact stuff.
Yeah, same stats.
Is it do you get an endless supply? Isn't something from the Cabot House quest? I think you get an endless supply of that serum.
Yeah, I heard that, but I didn't go back to check it.
And evidently,
I never used it.
There's a cool hat that I need to go get in Cabot.
Yes.
Okay, great feedback, Adam. That's awesome. Let's see, we probably have some email. Let me read off an email here. If I can find one. Let's go.
We've got Kara on.
Oh, Kara. Hey, Kara.
Hey, sorry, I had myself muted.
Fine. What's going on? How are you doing tonight, Kara? Everybody, welcome to the show.
Pretty good. How about you guys?
Oh, just darn wonderful. What have you've probably not been playing a lot of games. You're in your final home stretch here of school for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I'll get a 2-week break, and hopefully I can catch up and do some more roundtable stuff.
There you go. Good.
Yeah.
So we were just about to check in with an email. So any Fallout ideas, news, anything going on in that realm, Kara, at all?
Not that I can think of, other than I'm finally going to try the modding.
Oh,
no.
Gasp and shock.
Yeah, well, I'm so far behind right now. I'm like, I have got to give myself some boosts here. I've got to make this a little easier on myself.
Ooh. Yeah, sometimes you can make it a lot harder on yourself if you're not careful.
That's true.
And I just broke my game.
Yeah, you've been having lots of problems.
Yeah, it's not been nice right now. But I'm finding little quirks and workarounds, and I'm slowly piecing it together where the game is totally playable. It's just I'm missing about a third of the important stuff that I used to care about a lot and work with.
But he's not on the master race.
No.
Well, that is surprising to me, though. I mean, normally stuff is super well vetted when it comes to Xbox stuff, but I mean, every game has its glitches, and you mess with the code enough, and it's likely to cause problems here and there.
Yeah, I'm good at that. Like Marcus said, he and I'm paraphrasing. He made some sort of comment about how I'm great at breaking stuff in the game. It's like I play the game, and I find ways to make it eat its own tail or something.
You should find a way to become a beta tester.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah, that's Andrew's superpower.
Yeah.
That would be useful for some companies. Let me show you how I can break the game.
Yes.
So they can fix it.
I actually test software for a living, but not games, unfortunately.
No. That's awesome. Okay. So we should check in with an email here. We got Jeremy. Thank you, Jeremy, for writing in. It's not the ASA Game Talk, Jeremy. We have a this might be the first. Maybe I don't know. This might be the first time we've heard from Jeremy. So, hello, Andrew, and or other leading member of ASA podcasting team. Well, lucky you drew Andrew this time. My name is Jeremy McDaniel, and I'm interested in playing along this season of the Roundtable in Fallout. Hopefully, it's not too late. No, like I said before in the show, not too late, everybody. Just go ahead and join in. It'll be real easy to catch up no matter how late you are in the show. Even if you're listening to this years past, go ahead and start your own character and play along with the show as it airs. That's fun. Let's see. He continues. I first stumbled upon Michael's flagship, a Skyrimatic podcast, at the beginning of the year when I began rekindling my love affair with Skyrim. And one special, someone's crackling a little bit there in the background.
To me, you're starting to sound muffled.
Oh, sorry about that.
No
That's
worries.
probably leaning away to read. I began rekindling my love affair with Skyrim in the special edition on Xbox One. I started by listening to his first episodes and was quickly hooked. I really enjoyed the roundtable format and began to listen to past roundtables as I myself would play through the quest lines on special edition, the main quest, the Civil War, Solstheim, Necromancy, etc. Okay. Having finally listened through most of the podcast and getting to know the stories and personalities of all these awesome people who share a passion for these games, I decided it's time to get involved and try out a roundtable. Well, that's awesome. My main love is Skyrim. I've also played, although to a much lesser extent, Fallout. Fallout 4 is my first Fallout, and I decided to try it because it was set in Boston and I had recently moved there. I really loved it, but ended up only getting so far into the game and fell out of playing it, to which I have no good reason except for the general busyness of life. I feel that revisiting the game in this roundtable format will be a lot of fun and engaging way to get back into it. That's awesome. Well, thanks and welcome aboard for that, Jeremy. He says, a brief background about me. I'm 25 years old and was born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio, and attended the University of Cincinnati. Go Bears. What? You're supposed to be arch rivals or something.
Well, I didn't go. No, I didn't go to a college here in Ohio that rivals Cincinnati, U of Cincinnati. But
Bearcats.
Yeah.
No, I grew up a Cincinnati Reds fan. When I would go to Bengals and Reds games as a little kid. That's awesome, go Cincinnati. So he studied and practiced industrial design and moved to Boston after graduating, where I lived with my girlfriend of 4 years. I loved and played video games all my life, from Sega Genesis to the Xbox One. Console gamer pretty much exclusively. My favorite games in no particular order are Skyrim, Zelda Wind Waker. Oh man, this dude is a gem of my heart because Wind Waker is, everyone always quotes the Ocarina. No way. Wind Waker is where it's at. I love that he just said Wind Waker. That's awesome. So he says Skyrim, Zelda Wind Waker, the Mass Effect series, Grand Theft Auto series, and I enjoy the sports franchises of FIFA, NBA 2K, and Madden. I realize I'm a bit late from the true start of the season, but will try my best to find time to catch up. I'll probably get my character rolled, game updated, mod selected, and character commenced later this week or weekend. In my current gaming routine, I tend to only find small pockets of time to play in the evenings before bed and early mornings on weekends. God, this guy sounds exactly like me. I just started, play a little bit on the evenings and and the weekends in the morning. Yeah, that sounds a lot like me too. Awesome. So it'll be interesting to see if I can find time to keep up with the schedule. It is a challenge that I will accept. Well, there you go. I suppose that is all. It's a bit long-winded, but I'm excited to join the ranks and get back into the Fallout fold. I'll reach out again, I suppose, once I've begun, and give you guys a character update. Best, Jeremy. Oh, Jeremy, thanks for writing in. That's an awesome email. Thanks a lot for doing it. Hey,
Yeah.
Kara, would you like to read an email if I forward one to you?
Sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Well, I will find Jay here, and I will forward you an email. But while I do that, we'll go ahead and queue up another audio feedback here. Let's see if we got who's next in line. Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Got to wind up your email?
Yeah, it's loading. Sorry. I don't know, but I don't know. That's stupid circle. So we've got Leon and Paul. We're gonna hear from Jeremy. Just read your email. We got an email from Jay. Came with the Bunker Hill. Maybe we might not be able to get to that tonight. There's a lot going on here already. All right, here we go. Let's check in with Leon.
G'day, this is Leon from Texas. This is the Roundtable Episode 1 write-up for my character Olivia. This is connected to the prelude that Andrew read at the last Fallout feed. So now that Olivia knew that she needed to go to the glowing sea to find Virgil, she paused a minute and decided she needed to take time to prepare for the journey. Firstly, she checked in with Dance. That airship flying overhead after killing Kellogg was impressive, so they would probably be in a better position to help her than the railroad. No matter what Deacon said, she just kept thinking of a bunch of hippie kids trying to change the way things are. Dance helped her to get inducted into the Brotherhood, so Olivia was a knight. She met Elder Maxon, asshole. Ever read history, you fascist wannabe? She couldn't believe they bought her lies. Prejudice was great at misleading. They heard what they wanted to hear, so they didn't bother to think about it harder. They gave her a suit of T-60 armor. Whoop-de-doo. She took the frame and tossed it alongside her other 12 and sold the plates. She kept the torso that Captain Kells gave her for figuring out who was stealing from them, but her own piezo-nuclear torso, I don't know if I got the right word right, was better along with her mostly exo. Laughed at the thought that her torso was better than the Brotherhood's, and they didn't even know it. After that, she decided she needed to make some caps. She still had a hard time wrapping her mind around using those for currency. She got involved with a plan to rob a Diamond City storehouse, but she'd been lied to by Bobby No-Nose, and it was Hancock's. When they got there, his companion told him to leave, but what mercenary doesn't honor the deal? So the companion died, then Hancock butts up and wants me to kill Bobby. Or Olivia, sorry. Cool, she can get revenge about being lied to. Steal anything Bobby's got and placate Hancock. Easy enough to track her down, and boom, Bobby's dead. Hancock says he wants to go with her. Olivia says, whatever, just wear a face mask, you ugly SOB. She swings by the Pridwin, and Hancock takes off to avoid the Brotherhood. Good riddance. She meets Dance to clear out Fort Strong and recover the nukes underneath. No real problems, just some big green uglies to kill. They were once human. Good riddance to them, too. Now that she thought about it, maybe the Brotherhood had the right idea about super mutants and ghouls. Since, though, Olivia didn't agree with them on that, especially since now Curie was in a synth body. She'd have to think on that. Olivia went back out looking for more caps. Raider killing was sometimes profitable, sometimes not. She cleared out a place called Backstreet Apparel, found a unique robot called Drinking Buddy for someone in Good Neighbor, but once she had the ice cold beer, she said, screw caps, you're mine now. So refreshing. went hunting for baseball memorabilia for Mo. Then she headed to Ten Pines and kitted her armor out in lead and took off to find Virgil. That was a seriously rough journey. Death claws and rad scorpions all over. Finally, she made it to ground zero, only to find some lunatics living there. WTF. Shaking her head, she talked to them and found out Virgil lived in a nearby cave. Heading there, she wasted yet another death claw and headed inside, telling Curie to watch her back. Inside was another super mutant, but this one talked civil. Turns out it was Virgil. He agreed to help on the condition that if Olivia got inside, she would find his serum and bring it to him. Sure, whatever, mutie. Just what do I need to do? Virgil told her she would have to find a courser, a hunter synth. She could start in the CIT runes and use her radio to track him. Olivia had a weird premonition and went to Sanctuary first and talked to Mama Murphy. Mama spouted off some long code phrase, but Olivia noted it down and headed off to CIT. Once there, her radio led her to Green Tech Genetics, and inside a courser was mowing down gunners. She liked this courser already. Following in its path, she killed any gunners it missed till she met it on the top floor. On a hunt, she stated what Mama Murphy said, and it shut down. Wow, so a failsafe, huh? Glory said Curie was originally G5 something. I wonder if hers would work on Curie now. Something to remember. Anyways, Olivia killed the helpless gunners, but let the woman who turned out to be a synth go. Then she dug out the courser chip and thought about where to go next. She would have liked to go to Maxon, but they were too new to the Commonwealth, so she sighed and went to the railroad. Desdemona was shocked Olivia had been able to kill the courser, not knowing that Olivia had used Mama's code, and Tinker Tom decoded the chip. What a horribly stupid-looking hat he wore. She then went back to Virgil, and he gave her plans for an interception device. Racing back to the Pridwin, she got Maxon to order Ingram to help her build the damn thing. After setting it up at the airport, Olivia stepped on the platform and zap. Huge flash of light, insides burning, head pounding, pain, and then she appeared in a strange room. Looking around, a voice started talking. Let's talk. Come take an elevator and meet us, yada, 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 BS, BS, BS. Olivia followed instructions till she came to a room where Sean was behind glass. For a moment, the good Olivia rose from her grave and came to the fore, and she rushed in trying to talk and hold Sean. But he freaked out, and in walked an old guy in a lab coat who spoke in a phrase, and Sean, no, the synth, shut down. Inside, her soul cried out, but she turned to this man and confronted him to give her back her son. He said he was her son. 60 years had passed, not 10, since he had been kidnapped. Olivia felt the truth in his words, and her soul crumbled. Everything had been taken from her. Sean, he was now the leader of the Institute and was called Father. When she asked about what had happened to Nate, and he called it collateral damage, the remnants of the good in Olivia screamed inside her, turning into a banshee of hate fusing with the dark, cold, evil part in her soul. She blinked, and a thought crossed her mind. Revenge. Father kept talking. She heard him say he wanted her to stay and work with the Institute. Good, good, she nodded and smiled. She would do so while she plotted. After all, death was too good. The world had taken everything from her. She would make it pay. In the meantime, she would play the angles and see what way would be best. After all, she had time now, and the Institute at least had clean water, toilets, and showers. After meeting the department heads in the Institute, Father asked her to retrieve a broken synth at a place called Libertalia. Before she left, she convinced Dr. Lee to go back to the Brotherhood. She zapped out and went to go see Maxton and Ingram, whereupon they said they were rebuilding Liberty Prime to use on the Institute. Olivia decided to help for now and see where it led them. Then went off to the retrieve the synth. She met the Courser X688, and they used Gabriel's code to shut him down, and then headed back. A bunch of raiders got in the way, but she killed all them. Once back to Father, she no longer considered him as Sean. Sent her to Bunker Hill to retrieve a group of 4 synths. Zapping out, she walked into a war zone. Railroad fighting Brotherhood, and now synths from the Institute as well. Luckily, everyone thought she was on their side, so she quickly ran inside and down the tunnels, down the synths. After shutting them down using the recall code and zapping them back, she headed out to meet Father on the roof of the old CIT building. There, he revealed he had released her as an experiment. Her soul froze as she realized that he had become Vault Tech. another soulless scientist who justifies everything as the ends justify the means. Luckily, her power armor helmet hid her face, so he couldn't see the loathing she now had for him. Patience, she thought, wait to strike. Father said he wanted her to go to a meeting of the directorate, so they zapped back together. Once there, he surprised her by stating that he was dying to cancer and then naming her as the new head of the institute. What? She was stunned for a moment before the wheels began to turn and she nodded agreement. She told him she wanted to take a break before going to Phase 3 and zap to Goodneighbor to think about things and make plans by herself. She wandered a bit downtown, killing a few raiders and super mutants, and wandered into an arena called the Combat Zone. She walked towards the stage, drawn to the lady fighting inside. As she approached, the raiders inside saw her and decided to start shooting. Their mistake. After they were all dead, the ghoul owner asked Olivia to take Kate, the fighter's contract. Olivia felt a connection to Kate like none other. She saw a mirror of herself. A wounded warrior hopped up on Kim's and was quite happy to join forces. She knew Kate and her would get along great. She took Kate to the settlement she oversaw, and at the co-op she remembered the Nuka World signal, so her and Kate headed towards the transit center. Arriving at the transit center, Olivia and Kate encountered a group of gunners. After several minutes of hard fighting, they were victorious. Heading inside, they encountered Harvey, a shot man, who asked them to rescue his wife and daughter. I didn't notice any blood on his hands, but I guess he was shot. He promised them everything he had to go rescue his wife and daughter, so Olivia agreed. Riding the train to Nuka World was a trap. As she arrived, a voice told her that if she survived the gauntlet, he would talk to her. This gauntlet was a major pain. The announcer was a total prick, and after a bit, Olivia started moving even slower just to piss him off. Overall, it wasn't too hard, just annoying. The traps were fairly obvious, and apart from one mine she missed, they escaped unharmed. Luckily, her power armor protected that. Arriving at the Cola Cars arena, the raider leader, or overboss, told her she was going to die since he had rigged the fight. The voice, Gage, told her he had stashed a weapon to use in the warm-up area. Turned out to be a squirt gun. Aha! Electricity and water. Brilliant! Silly, but brilliant! She kimmed up, everything in her arsenal pretty much, ran in, squirted Coulter, and then proceeded to kill him. Painting her ass over, now who's next? She confronted Gage, and he told her she was the new overboss in charge of the 3 raider gangs, the Operators, Disciples, and Pack. WTF. Everybody wants to be under my roof. Great. After shaking her head a moment, the wheels began to turn. And Olivia smiled inside her power armor. The beginnings of a plan were coming together. Gage told her to meet him atop Fizztop Mountain, and they headed outside the room. At the end of this quest, Olivia is level 46. Andrew read on the last Fallout feed, she has added the perks additional strength +1, bringing it up to 4, armor +1, bringing it up to 4, science +2, bringing it up to 4, better crits +1, bringing it up to 3, crit banker +1, bringing it up to 3, party girl +1, bringing it up to 3, medic +1, and inspirational +1. That's the end of my episode 1. Thank you, and thanks.
That's great. Awesome. Thank you so much, Leon. Checking in down from Texas. That's great. The Brotherhood of Steel seems to be deep into the Brotherhood of Steel stuff. I've played the Brotherhood of Steel. I think maybe, I don't remember what season that would have been. Maybe season 1 of the Round Table. I had to do a Brotherhood of Steel, but I'm happy to. So. I'm happy to not go through that again.
Really, you didn't find it enjoyable?
No, it's perfectly enjoyable. But just like how, when they pull the rug out from underneath you and you realize that your son is really a 60-year-old puppet master manipulating things around and released you as an experiment, I'm fine with not doing that too many more times either. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And that just blows my mind that is the main part of the game, and yet I can find plenty of other stuff to do. That's not the main part of the game. It's crazy that this game is big enough to provide that sort of depth. And so yeah, he's deep into the Brotherhood of Steel. I like how he's getting zapped. He said, so I zapped over here, zapped over there. So yeah, getting around town. The squirt gun is always a fun part there. Yeah, so that's brilliant. Thanks Leon for checking in with another great round of roundtable feedback. That's awesome. So so we need to check in with Dennis, who just got in from vacation. So I'm not sure if I saw that he popped on. Dennis, are you with us? Are you you understand English still?
Yeah, I'm still wondering why you prefer to play the Minutemen and be the doormat of the Commonwealth, but that's okay, Andrew.
Shots fired.
They used to be, but now I'm here. It's funny. I was just thinking about that, Dennis, how every person you go to in the settlement, they're like, well, we used to think the Minutemen were cool, but then they flaked out and they're a bunch of douchebags now. And then you're like, hi, I'm here with the Minutemen. Can I help? It's always just so funny how they're just finished trashing the Minutemen as you show up and say, hi, I'm with the Minutemen. So, Dennis, you're back from vacation. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing wonderful. It's good to stop by for a little bit.
Yeah, that's great. Dennis' work schedule changed a little bit, so it's been a little hit and miss with our schedules meeting up recently. But we'll definitely get when we do our quests next week. Dennis said he'll definitely check in. We'll do a full blast of good in-depth questing, right, Denny?
I'll do my best. I've been playing mostly 3 because of limited time, but I'm going to try and power through a bunch of stuff so I have something to prattle on about.
You're good at that. If anyone can power through any gaming, that's our power gamer, Denny. So did you sneak an Xbox to Mexico?
No, I didn't. I was told categorically that if the Xbox went on the plane, I would be hauled off the plane. So
the Xbox would go instead of you.
Yeah, I actually had to submit to a search prior to even TSA getting a hold of me.
Oh god! Did you sneak any Fallout gaming otherwise? Did you load Shelter?
No, I was wondering if my hand would start twitching, but no, even I wasn't quite that desperate yet.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, congratulations.
Watching little kids play Zelda was about as bad as it got, but eventually the authorities came and pulled me away, and were allowed to continue to play Zelda without me telling them they were doing it all wrong.
This guy drooling near these kids is a little bit concerning. Let's drag him away. I still haven't seen a Switch. I haven't seen that new Zelda game. I haven't seen any of that yet. I watched the
resort we were at was really very nice. They had a little group area for kids, and it had little pony rides and everything like that. And the poor little pony was just standing there being ignored while everybody played the Switch.
They're like riding around in the Switch, and they're like, "Yay! Look at me! I'm riding Epona. I'm riding this beautiful pony in the game." And then there's literally a pony you could be riding in real life.
Exactly.
Oh, that's funny. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you had a good time. Welcome.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it's great. We're going to check in with Kara with an email from who are we going with? Jay, I believe, wrote an email into us. Kara, do you have an email ready to go?
I do.
Great.
Looks like Jay gave us some pretty thorough feedback, so I'm excited.
Oh, nice.
So he starts off with, hey guys, just wanted to write in and tell you all about my roundtable character. I'm a huge fan of your show and have listened to it since it began. So old school here. I've finally decided to try the roundtable this go-round. I was assigned a female, and her assigned stats are Strength 6, Perception 5, Endurance 6, Charisma 3, Intelligence 2, Agility 3, and Luck 3. Her perks are Iron Fist. That thing really loves to spit out Iron Fist, I swear.
I got it too. I don't like it.
I'm pretty sure that was Marcus just punking us all, saying, "I bet I could get those idiots all to play hand to hand."
The Lendril Hall of if you got that from the Skyrim roundtable the last season. It's just like
curse you, Marcus.
Yeah, I think this will be the first all-female roundtable too.
Yeah.
Female?
Yeah, I'm a female too.
That's great.
So Iron Fist, Awareness, that should be useful. Adamantium Skeleton, also useful. Cap Collector, Gun Nut, Mr. Sandman, and Scrounger. She has Hancock for a romance and Porter Gage for a companion. Her settlement is Nordhagen Beach, and her factions are the Children of Adam. Her factions are the Children of Adam and the Operators. My character's name is Kirsten, or Kirsten, I'm not sure about the pronunciation, and I have decided to do something I haven't done since my first playthrough. I went through the main story to level up and sided with the Institute. Since Nuka World is all about raiders, I decided my character would be very evil, with a never-ending hunger for power. She started off using whatever weapons she could get her hands on, and then evolved into using the Power Fist up close and assorted heavy weapons at range. She fell in with the railroad and used them to find her son and the Institute. She attempted to romance Hancock, but that pretty much ended when she slaughtered the entire railroad right in front of him with the legendary minigun Ashmaker that he gave her. Ouch. Needless to say, that relationship didn't quite pan out. On her way to Diamond City for the first time, she ran across the Bordello and started the Saints and Sinners quest. Is it Bordello or Bordeo? I always get concerned when there's two L's.
I say Bordello, but I have no idea.
No, I'm just
Bordeo.
Bordeo. There you go. I'm Spanish for half a second. The Saints and Sinners quest, she ended up resolving it peacefully. She then went to Good Neighbor and met Audrey to start Under the Bridge. After all the family squabble was done, she happily killed Margaret. After the main quest was completed and Kirsten was implemented as the new leader of the Institute, she decided to branch out and seek more power and influence. Her work is never done, it seems. She heard the broadcast about Nuka World and decided to investigate. She and her new muscle, Strong, headed out to Nuka World. She found the gunners at the train depot to be a decent fight, but armed with the railway rifle, she looted from Desdemona and Strong with a Gatling laser he got from who knows where. They made short work of them. Kirsten decided to go to Nuka World under the guise of helping the guy get his family, but with other motives of scouting out a new place to expand and take over. When she got there, the gauntlet proved brutal. Thank God she had enough sense to at least bring one or two ranged weapons. The boss fight at the allergies. The boss fight at the bumper cars was a huge surprise to her. Not only was the guy invincible before his power armor shorted out, after it shorted out, it still took several mini nukes from her fat man to bring him down. She was further surprised to find out that the raiders had automatically appointed her leader. She went to meet Gage in the Fizztop grill, and he told her that he had... Huh?
Fizztop?
I guess so. It says Fizzop here. So I was like, well, maybe I just didn't know it right. He told her that he had heard of her and her institute. He then made the comment to the effect of, "You guys are into some shady shit." And with that, she is all caught up and ready to begin taking over Nuka World and maybe later the Commonwealth.
Nice.
P.S. I have never played I'm always going to say it wrong. Someone's going to, like, one half or the other is going to hate me. But a melee character in any Fallout game before. Excuse me. And I find it to be really enjoyable.
Nice. Wonderful. Thank you for that awesome email, Jay.
Yeah.
Dennis, the Institute.
I'm sorry, Andrew, I didn't hear the front part of that.
So, Dennis, what do you think of the Institute?
Oh, they're the best people in the entire universe. No, I don't care for the Institute all that much.
Did you play through their side of the main quest?
Well, I think a good percentage of people when they first play the game tend to go with the Institute side just because that's the way that leads you to your son. I mean, that's the way. When I played the game first, I did it as role playing as much as I could imagine, and I was playing a female character, and I don't know how you wouldn't want to. I go after your kids, so I pretty much did something I never do in those types of games where I just ignored all the other quests and was doing mainly the main quest all the time.
Yeah. Michelle, do you dig the Institute? You ever play through that?
No.
No.
I went with the Minutemen.
Of course. That's the only logical, brilliant choice to make.
That destroyed both the Institute and Brother of Steel.
Yeah, of course. You got to take down. So, you don't have to take down the railroad, but just out of spite every time. Even if you're fighting, the Institute, you just because.
Because.
That shows you that Preston Garvey's a better mind manipulator than Father is, because he's got you two completely hosed.
I'm general. I'm the boss.
Oh, is that what you think? Well, then why are you hauling your ass around the Commonwealth helping this settlement and that one?
Well, I bring Preston with me because we always get that lovers embrace. He's good at spooning. He's a good little spoon. I'm the big spoon. In this
I was gonna say he's the big spoon. Who's the little spoon?
No one asked. It doesn't matter.
With the amount of people you haul around, Andrew, you have to roll king size bed no matter where you go, because a lot of people are vying to get in there.
Okay, that's a lot of spooning.
We put 2 or 3 of those suckers side by side. Strong gets in sometimes. It gets a little weird.
Well, at least Dogmate can just lay on top of everyone.
Yeah, well, he's licking feet and stuff. He likes to get in on.
Well, I saw a new mod recently, and of course I can't remember the name of it, but it has bunk beds now instead of single beds, and that actually both beds function. So you can have settlers sleeping in bunk beds now.
Are they semi clean? Am I gonna get fucking parasites from the God
well,
damn.
I mean,
Is there
depends on how clean your settlers are, Andrew. I mean, you're the one with all the water problems. I don't think you have good functioning water in your settlement. So
water doesn't exist anymore, Dennis. There's no such thing as water anymore. Poor settlers. Okay. So we need to check in with one more feedback here. This one's a little bit shorter. So we'll check in with Paul, see what Paul's doing. And I think we might be a little deep into the show to actually play the King of the Bunker Hill quiz show. So we'll have to push that off till next episode. I know we promised that off at the top of the show. So I apologize for anyone who's super, super anticipating the King of the Bunker Hill quiz show challenge, but we'll have to push that off till next week just because we're already pretty deep into the show here. But Paul, we will go ahead and check in with your audio feedback. Thanks again, everyone, so much for all this great audio feedback and the emails that we've been getting. Everyone's been doing such a great job. I encourage anyone else out there who's wanting to maybe consider doing a play-along character, take the lead from these guys. They've created a great set of examples here. So let's go ahead and check in with Paul.
My character is based on the Fudge Muppet Diplomat build. I tried a Remington number generator, and I hated my rolls. They pushed me towards what I was doing normally and not something wildly different. My character's starting stats are 3, 3, 3, 10, 6, 1, 2. Yeah, that's not quite how Fudge Muppet did it, but I had to have armor, so I traded away Mysterious Stranger. This gives me almost nothing in action points, and they take forever to return when used. Definitely not how I usually play. I made my character using the Sasha Williams preset from the Walking Dead Survivors Looks menu preset mod. I gave myself a good pistol at the start, the Glock P80 by Doom. It's roughly twice the damage of a 10mm pistol, and to shake things up a little further, I added the Unlimited Companion Framework mod, so I can have up to 15 followers. Normally I go out alone, but this is supposed to be different. I grabbed a dog meat on my second day and went to the Drumlin Diner, turned on the charisma, and solved that confrontation peacefully. And then went back to the Museum of Freedom and picked up the Perception bobblehead. the Sim settlements tape and sensors. I killed the Deathclaw and never looked back. Preston's still waiting for me to go back inside. My plan is to avoid all the main quests until after Nuka World. We went exploring with Codsworth and Dogmeat and wound up at the Greater Mass Blood Clinic near Fort Hagen. There's a combat rifle there that always spawns on the roof, and I wanted that as early as possible. And then I looped back by Oberlin Station and headed back to Sanctuary. Next, we went to Bunker Hill to get the quest there to allow the traveling merchants to stop at my settlements after clearing out the National Guard training yard. Well, Codsworth did most of the work there. I went to the East Boston Prep School. That was much harder for a tender level 10 character to do without that many action points, even if I had an overpowered pistol. Back at Sanctuary after that adventure, it was time to add Piper to the group and headed off to Diamond City. Went exploring the map and picked up some odd side quests as we went exploring. We headed south to Egrid Tours Marina and then west to Jamaica Plains while trying to sneak around Milton. As much as an agility 1 character in a party of 4 can sneak. Had a stroke of great luck at Jamaica Plains. Got a Glock 10. I got a Glock P80 of exploding off one of the ghouls. My favorite gun with my favorite legendary effect. It helped considerably with the enemies from then on. I was able to scrounge 10mm faster than I expended. Eventually, we started the Cabot series of quests. I grabbed McCready and Goodneighbor and added him to the party. We now had a total of 5. This led to another stroke of great fortune. After we found Imogene at the band shell, we went over to Hallucinogen to get the gas canister for Fred and Goodneighbor. I'm using the mercenary pack, so all the gunners have armor from that mod. I was able to outfit the group with better armor and even found one that had the equivalent damage resistance of ballistic weave lining for myself. So I have a good gun, good armor, and I'm ready to take on the world. Eventually, we went back to Goodneighbor to pick up Audrey and do her quest. By the time we picked up her sister, the party is up to 7. This is when I realized things were getting a little awkward. We killed the sister eventually, and that made the party shrink to 6. Visit a bordello and used my charisma to peacefully solve that problem. Went to return a book at the library. That's when I learned that 5 is too many followers. I convinced the library to let me in by telling them I was the mayor. And the game tried to squeeze 6 people on the inside landing and decided to place me on the trip line and promptly blew me up. And over again. So it was time to load a previous save and go to the library again. This time it placed me beyond the trip line. Yay, I didn't blow up. After the library, I dismissed Codsworth and Piper and got the party down to 4. Audrey's my new favorite. She has some interesting lines. I've reached level 29 and went exploring at Forest Grove Marsh and stumbled across Birdie. So now the party's back up to 5, and we're probably just about ready to go take a vacation in Nuka World.
Hey, that's great. Thanks so much.
A fan of yours?
He's a man.
You hear that?
My
you
person,
hear that, Andrew? The 5 is too many.
I don't buy that. 5, maybe not enough. Skyrim, definitely not enough. I haven't really. Is this magical, fantastical, brilliant mod that he speaks of? Is this available for the Xbox? There's no way.
I'm not sure. That sounds like something that would need the script extender, but I'm not sure.
What did he say it was called? The Unlimited Framework for Followers or something? I barely caught it. I didn't remember what
it's the Unlimited Follower Framework or something like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I doubt that it's available for Xbox very much, but I could get into some deep trouble if it's actually unlimited. I will bring all 13 of the followers with me. And I'll go get the ones from, the world and stuff too, Bring it. Audrey and her sister. Isn't that great, guys? You get 2 followers for the price of 1 there for a little while.
I have a hard time getting 2 into an elevator.
Yeah, I don't worry about that. I just go in the elevator and they always just pop around the corner eventually.
Not everywhere. If you go to the Boston mayoral shelter, you lose them.
Oh no, do they end up at home or something?
No.
Or you just lose them?
They get somewhere else, but they don't come with you. And when you get to the death law, you're alone.
You're alone.
That sounds pretty smart to me. If I was a follower, I'd be like, yeah, you know what, big guy, you can take that one on yourself. I'll be in the other room having a soda.
I'm gonna go up the elevator here. I'll see you later. Audrey has some good lines. I do believe this. Do you guys remember any of Audrey's lines offhand? I need to. But, I do remember liking some of Audrey's stuff. A little more. I don't know. The followers in Tales from the Commonwealth definitely have a different little twist, a little flavor to them that the vanilla ones just don't have.
Oh yeah,
Audrey's good.
I love IR404.
Yeah, the synth from the railroad. You brought her up earlier. Yeah. And I'm excited to stumble across all these. Dennis, have you been able to do some roundtable stuff?
I can't get Tales to load on my Xbox.
What?
I've only ever had it load successfully once, and I played it for a little while, but I ended up getting rid of it because it took up so much space that I couldn't fit other stuff. Because once I finally was able to get it to work, I'm like, oh, it'll work anytime now. I'll be fine. And then I tried to get it to start for the roundtable, and it's just not loading properly.
How is that possible?
I really don't know. I mean, I've fooled around. I mean, there's only so much you could do with it on Xbox. You can move it everywhere in your load order, but for some reason it just will not load anything at all. And I've tried it with having that be the only mod that I have installed, starting new games, various things, and after a while I'm just like, okay, well, it doesn't like me.
That is crazy. Huh. That doesn't even make any sense to me why you couldn't just delete it or whatever and download it, and that's weird that it would still be a problem. So that's awesome. Paul, thanks again for your awesome audio feedback there. He evidently used our character generator and didn't like his rolls. That's fine. You can do that.
Yeah, poor guy though. Like having sluggish action points refill and just having a limited amount in general like that. God, that would drive me crazy.
VATS and running away are the 2 things I use most in the game, and those are both very AP dependent. So that would demolish my playstyle. So I should actually play a no AP character at some point. An all melee no AP character. How about that?
Even when you use melee, it's a good idea to use VATS because you have the defense, and also you're not tempted to jiggle around. So when you use rooted, you're also getting the benefit from that. So I mean, you can do it, but also if you don't use VATS and melee, they tend to block significantly better. Or I'm just not good at getting them to stop blocking, because I'll hit them with a bat 6 times and they'll block like they've got a shield.
Yeah.
And with Blitz, it's marvelous.
Mm-hmm.
When you use Blitz with VATS, you never miss your shot.
and can you also, on top of that, stack that one perk in the perception tree that I was talking about earlier, where you can hit things from behind? Can you do Blitz from like 20 feet away with the hit you from behind a solid wall perk too?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, you can actually kind of, when you get Blitz 2, you're basically teleporting all around the map. They're not even going to see you, because you're going to, even if you have even if you have no stealth,
But I don't know if you can go through walls though.
It depends on. Well, you can't legit go through walls, but if you can kind of side clip through a wall. I mean, you're not going to go straight through, but if you're like around the corner and you edge it out and get it into VATS and get them to appear on VATS, it'll half port you through the wall.
incredible. I was gonna try to look up the perception tree, see what that perk was called. I forget what it was called. Weird. Oh, that's awesome. Let's see, what else has he got? He mentioned the perception bobblehead. I always forget, how does it go if you want to get your specials to 11? Do you max your specials up to 10 and then collect the bobblehead, or do you collect the bobblehead before you max out? I always forget how that works.
Max first.
You max out all your specials first to 10, and then you collect the bobblehead to get it to an 11.
Yep.
I always forget how that works. Okay. He mentioned a combat rifle that's always at the blood clinic near Fort Hagen. That is an awesome secret that I actually found a couple playthroughs ago. That's one of the places I love to hightail it to. I like to hit up Shine Trading post over there, and then also go to Fort Hagen, or not Fort Hagen, but the blood center. Watch out, there's blood bugs though. Those motherfuckers are crazy. You got to watch bugs, but it spawns a combat rifle up there, which is so useful at very low levels. It's good to get that gun away. He said he got like a Glock or something. Is that the same thing as a 10 millimeter? Is that just like synonymous terms, or does he have a mod?
It's probably the modern. I'm not sure if it is, but the one that's used most often is modern firearms. Or yeah. I think that one, there's like the tactical edition, which has like modern, like machine gunny kind of guns. And then there's another one that has, I think it's modern sidearms that has like pistols and what have you. And they have like Glocks and Desert Eagles and all the more modern style of weapons.
Yeah. I'm still so ignorant about weapons of all kinds. I don't know anything about any of that stuff. It's funny. I like his story about trying to return a book to the library and then getting loading on the tripwire that would blow him up every time. I love those reload cycles that it just reload and you're dead, reload and you're dead. Those are really fun. But it sucks to have to go back, especially if you've forgotten to save in the last long time. Like, I'm good at that, really, and I get pissed off because I'm like, fuck, I didn't save the last like 2 hours.
I hate it when I do that. And of course, you can't do that See, I keep forgetting whenever I'm in survival mode. I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to send me way back.
Oh, this sucks. Oh, this sucks.
Are you still playing? Are you still playing survival, Kara?
No. I had enough of trying to keep myself from punching straight through my computer screen. So
I had to.
Yeah, because when we don't hear from you for long periods of time, we're wondering if you're just buried under schoolwork or if you completely raged and destroyed your Xbox.
Why not both?
So yeah, that's great. Thanks again, Paul, for audio feedback. And we are deep into the show, guys. So do you have any closing thoughts? Michelle, thank you for joining us. Denny, thanks for hopping on here. And Kara, great to hear from you. Good luck with school and everything here in the closing couple weeks. And home stretch, right? You graduate this summer?
Yeah, I've just got one more class to go.
Let's go. So awesome. Closing thoughts. Fallout feed number 75, y'all. Dennis, weren't we supposed to be doing something Dungeons and Dragons related or something? 75? Weren't you making some joke that was flying way over my head because I don't get it?
Yeah, no, it's in the hopper. I'm working on it, Andrew. You're such a taskmaster. Never a moment's peace. He's always texting us, work harder, work harder.
Back to Mexico, I'm gonna start cracking whips again.
I had to flee the country.
I'm a horrible driver of work. So welcome back to the show. Denny, is great for you to check in. Kara, we'll always love hearing from you. Michelle, please come back and talk with the quests next week if you can. That'd be great. Going through all these quests that a lot of these people have briefly mentioned in their awesome feedbacks, we will go through great detail on the next episode of the Fallout feed. So check in with us, thefalloutfeed@gmail.com. Find us in the Facebook group, facebook.com/ a Skyrim Addict podcast. Find us online at asapodcasting.com, where you can find our random character generator. Write us in, all your stats, your stuff. great. And catch up anytime. Don't worry about being late to the show. So for Kara and Denny, also for Michelle and Lee, I'd like to thank everyone for listening to this episode of the Fallout Feed, and we will see you in the Wasteland.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
See you.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the Wasteland.